Who am I that the Lord of all the earth would care to know my name?
Alright, this is your Sexuality with Priye. My name is Priye Derefaka Okara. I'm so glad and excited to be here again tonight. And tonight, I'm going to be talking about sex in the dream, okay? And also wet dreams. Those who experience wet dreams and then usually have sex in dream. Now, right now, I'm live on my Facebook page. Okay, we're streaming live. My Facebook page is Priye Okara. Okay, so you can watch me live on Facebook. Oh, right. That brings me to what I'm talking about tonight. I'm talking about sex in your dream and wet dreams. Often people have a lot of issues in this direction. People are confused. Is there anything wrong with me having sex in my dream? Is there a problem experiencing wet dreams? Usually they tell you that once you attain puberty age, as you grow up, once you have the age of you're a teenager, they tell you that it's a normal thing to experience wet dreams. But tonight you're going to know how true is that. Is it okay? Is it normal? And I remember during one of our radio program, a man called he's over 40, and he was telling me that I'm over 40 and then I still experience wet dream. I'm no more a teenager and all of that. So tonight I would open you to a lot of truths. Now, sex is one major weapon that destroys the lives of kings, leaders, politicians, governors, presidents, pastors, reverend, bishop, prophets, evangelists. I remember Napoleon Hill saying something in one of his in his book. I think a lot of persons should have read it. Think and Grow Rich. If you go to page 155, he talks about sex. He talks about how sex has destroyed some president, how a certain president wife understood his sexuality and was able to help him out, and he ruled. He mentioned a few presidents who, because of their sexuality, actually lost a lot of position, how they were disgraced. Some of you know Bill Clinton, how he went down the drain, harassment and all of that. So you must understand that your sexuality is not something you should overlook. It's not something you should joke with. It's not something you should play with. And I'm saying that in a lighter mood because one of the experiences that you have in sex in your dream is that it takes you beyond the normal proportion. But I'm going to give you more details on that. Now, having sex in the dream is not all about demonic or satanic attack. People have classified or has painted it or has looked for a way to justify themselves where they are also wrong, to say that I'm having sex in my dreams or experiencing wet dreams because I believe that is a demonic attack or satanic attack. It is not in all cases, and I will give you some explanation. But before I do that, I'd like you to stick with me. When I come back, I'm going to give you more details. What are the things that lead someone to have sex in the dream or experience wet dreams in their sleep? Okay. My name is Priye Derefaka Okara. I'll be right back shortly. All right, you're welcome back to your Sexuality with Priye. If you're just joining me, this is your Sexuality, and my name is Priye Derefaka Okara. Tonight, I'm talking about sex in the dream and then wet dreams. Briefly, I'm gonna let you understand that I said before I went on break that usually it's not in all cases. It's not every sex in the dream that you have, every sex that you have in your dream, or every wet dreams that you experience that is as a result of a demonic attack or satanic attack. Now, during the course of my studies and research, I realized you can be, you can actually have wet dreams all right, as a reason of as a reason of experiences that you have gone through and all of that. And in most cases, let me give you instance as now, especially for let me say, let's say before you went to bed during your day, you probably had some friends where you guys were talking about sex and you guys were interacting all the time. Now, when you allow all of these negative or mindset come to play in your mind during your day activity and all of that, what happens to you at the end of the day is that you might end up going to bed and then you are experiencing wet dreams or having sex in your dream. Now, another thing also that leads to you having sex in your dream. Now, these are one of the ways, these are part of the things that make people have sex in their dreams or experience wet dreams. Watching of pornography, okay, watching adult movies, that's you know, the same thing as pornography, just watching a pornography, which is adult movies, listening to some secular songs that stimulate your sexual organs, okay, that awaken your sexuality. Some of these secular songs are so sensational that it makes you excited, it makes you feel good, you are happy about it, and as you're feeling good, it has aroused you sexually without your notice. That when you go back to sleep, your subconscious mind begin to come into play, where you begin to see yourself, you know, acting it out in your sleep. All right. For some persons, they might not really have someone doing it with them physically, but what happens to them is that they wake up and they find that they are wet, especially for the men. And then sometimes you wake up and then you realize that, I mean, I just went down and all of that. Okay. Now, another thing that can cause sex in the dream is anxiety. Or over anxiety, okay, concerning your sexual feelings. You're excited, you see a lady, you see a guy, you're excited and you're feeling good, but yet you didn't get into the act. That can come into play during your sleep. Now, sex in your dream could also mean lack of sexual satisfaction in your marriage, in your relationship, or, okay, or not attaining orgasm during your sexual intercourse with your spouse, all right, or in your relationship with your partner. Now, watching of romantic movies, you see some people, like those of you that watch the Telemundo, the Z World and all of that, some of our home local movies, why they are kissing and necking and pecking, dressing half nude and, and all of that, doing all the smoochy. Now, if you indulge your mind and your eyes all the time seeing such movies, it can begin to act out and play during your sleep, okay? And you go to bed, you find yourself that you are having sex with someone or you are experiencing wet dreams. Also, reading of romantic novels, okay? Masturbating, all right, okay, especially if you're addicted to masturbation and you've been struggling with it, you want to stop, but you find yourself still going back to it. Now, for every time you try to stop or that you did not masturbate, you will end up experiencing wet dreams. Most masturbators experience wet dreams in their sleep when they were not able to masturbate at the usual time that they have allowed their system or their sexual organ to be addicted to. Fantasy about sex can also lead to sex in the dream or wet dreams. Now, there are cases, all right, where you talk about sex with friends, all right, and lust over someone sexually, thinking about someone that you love, okay, that is not your spouse, or that is even your spouse or your partner, but they are not available. When you keep thinking and pondering about them to see if you can have sexual intercourse with them and they are not available, it can act out while you are asleep. Your subconscious mind can begin to replay every thought that you went through, and then you begin to experience that in your dream. Now, mind you, I said there are two ways, okay, so I'd like you to follow follow me gradually on this. Now, I am on Facebook. I'm streaming live on Facebook. My Facebook page is called Priye Okara. You can watch me live on Facebook right now as this program is going on. Now, I talked about listening to sensational or seductive secular songs or movies. You know, there are some seductive secular songs that you watch on TV, on video, visual, okay, and you see the girls, they're just wearing their, you know, their top and their bikini and all of that, and they begin to dance all romantic and seductive, and you are listening to it, you are watching it, you are getting excited about it. When you go to bed in the night, you can begin to act it out by experiencing sex in your dream or having wet dreams. Now, too much of alcohol, too much of intake of alcohol also causes sex in the dream or wet dreams. All right, some social media activities that you watch in your Facebook, your WhatsApp and Instagram and all of that, there are some things that you are not supposed to watch or see, or some write-ups, okay, on social media, some conversation that you shouldn't indulge with on social media that can affect you while you go to bed at night, and then you experience sex in the dream or you experience wet dreams. Okay, now that can arouse and stimulate your sexual organ after doing all of the social media stuff and then write up. And then cyber sex also has another role to play during your sleep. Now, if you need counseling after the program, you need someone to talk to. It might be it might have to be with your sexuality, or you're experiencing sex in your dream or wet dreams, or it might just be that you have personal issues with yourself. You can reach me after the program on 0814 006 1460, or you can